Well, we're 1 for 2. We nailed it last week.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll see how. Look, you got next week. It's always next week.
All right, we'll see.
All right, well, let's talk to our patron now.
Certainly.
All right, welcome back to the show. We are with our guest today, patron Amber Jewers. Amber, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I am admittedly really nervous right now, so
Okay.
I'm jittery, that's why. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good today.
We've been waiting for this day for our whole lives.
It's true.
Well, that's comforting. That's comforting for me, thank you.
Well, by that I mean that we've all been waiting for the next day for our whole lives forever. I mean, realistically, we're all just waiting for tomorrow. So here we are. We're at today, and we're with you, and we're very excited to meet you. Amber, we've asked this of everybody who's come on so far. How long have you been watching our show, and how did you find out about it?
Okay, so I've been a patron to the Indie Show for, I believe it's like 2 years now.
Wow.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I've been a fan of yours, Andy, since like 2008. So
Wow, all right. Fantastic.
yeah, there was one day I was just really sad, and I think you guys had posted something about it somewhere. So I just went and like binge watched all of the YouTube clips, and I was like laughing my ass off, and I'm like, okay, this is good money. I was like, I need to spend money on this, and then here we are.
Well, we certainly appreciate it.
I mean, for the fact that you've supported us financially for 2 years is we feel like we owe you more than a Skype or a conversation. But even still, we appreciate that you're here.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I was like freaking out when you like got that message yesterday, because I was like telling some of my friends, I was like, oh, I thought you guys just posted something, and then I was like, I looked at it and I was like,
Here we are, and we're all talking. So,
yeah.
what is your favorite thing we've ever done on the show, and how disappointed are you that we're no longer doing it?
I do miss the games, always because they were a good laugh.
Yeah.
But you guys and your wacky stories and everything always kind of make up for it. So I feel like even at first with the new format, I was like, oh, how is this going to translate? But then I was like, no, you guys really make up for it, and I still love watching.
I think the thing was, so what we did was we used to film it at like a studio space, right? And that place still exists. It was just, first of all, it was very far away. And we just thought maybe it would be better to switch it to a little bit more intimate format, because the way we were doing it, sitting behind a desk and everything, it felt kind of like we were doing like a game show kind of thing. And that maybe people like that, and maybe that's what people miss. But for now, we decided to switch to this because now we do it out of my house for the most part. Now we do it on the internet. We just keep devolving.
Yeah.
But so we've been trying to figure out a way to make the games work in this format, and we're not yet successful in that. But we're going to try. I think that a goal of ours is to try to get that going again, to be able to make the show a little bit bigger in scale.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
so
definitely
Amber,
like that.
So
Amber,
okay, sorry.
I'm sorry to keep interrupting you. I keep interrupting you.
I'm bad at it too.
So what have you been doing in this quarantine time? How has your life been? What's been going on with you?
I mean, I relate to that meme that's going around on the internet where it's like, oh, my lifestyle is quarantine. Because I never leave the house that much anyways.
I believe it. That's what I talked about last.
Uh-oh.
I was talking to my sister-in-law about this the other day, because we were all chatting, and we were saying how funny it is that, like, for me, the way that I live my life generally is so upsetting to everyone else. Like, all these people are losing their minds, freaking out. I don't know what to do. I have to download meditation apps. And I'm like, well, this is just how I am every day.
Me too. I don't, like, I haven't kept track of the days because it really doesn't drive me crazy. Because, like I said, I think at this rate, I leave the house, like, once a month anyway.
So, you can grow a fake beard. You probably wouldn't be able to grow. Anyone can grow a better facial hair than this. But this is the way that I've been tracking the time. So
no, I think it looks good. Stop hating on yourself there. I think it looks good.
It definitely doesn't look good, but it's not the worst thing that's ever happened.
Oh no, I think it looks good.
Juliet is coming around to it. At first, she was very thought it was hilarious, and then the other day she goes, "I actually kind of like it on you." And I was like, "Now we've been home too long. If you start to like it."
That's coincidental. I'm actually wearing a Juliet shirt right now. I don't know how long.
Oh, I recognize that shirt.
Yeah, I got it from her Depop. I was actually supposed to. She wrote a quote for me to get tattooed. I was actually supposed to do that tomorrow, but then the virus happens.
Oh, you and me both. I'm really sad because I was going to get a new tattoo. I was getting a traditional style tattoo, but it's Michael Keaton's Batman. I was going to get that done on my arm, And I was really excited. I wanted to get it done right before tour, and I had to cancel that. So now I just draw it on my Sharpie every day to remind myself.
I debated it. I mean, I got it on a little sticky note from her, so I was really excited. But that's like the one downer from this quarantine. I was like really looking forward to that, and it's like, oh, okay. Now I have no idea when that's happening.
Well, do you have any pets or anything? Is anybody at home? Anybody hanging out with you?
Yeah, I have a dog and a cat, and I'm currently with my.
I'm sure you have humans around. I just mean for me, you'll see where my mind is. I immediately go to, do you have pets? Not like, do you have a significant other?
No, and I live with my my parents right now and my niece, cool. So they're around.
So you can choose to have human interaction when you want to. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, that's the perfect scenario.
Juliet and I are just obsessed with our animals more than ever. Like
I've noticed the stories.
Yeah,
and the
we just keep fucking with them all day. Just playing with them and just obsessed with them.
I can relate.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Of course, I created a whole backstory for my dog's love life with one of her toys. So, fantastic. I'm kind of losing my mind, too.
So, what have you been watching? Presumably, we've all been watching a lot of things. Could you give the audience some tips on what to pass the time with while they're stuck at home?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always something on. I found like a lot of like Netflix is starting to put out a lot of ridiculous things. I haven't watched Tiger King yet. I've seen Juliet post about it and everything, and I've seen all the memes, but I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. So
I'm so jealous of you that you have not yet watched it. Like during the first episode, I paused it and said, Juliet, I'm so sad that this only has as many episodes as it does, because this show is my favorite thing ever. And the thing is, I thought that in the first episode. I got a little bit less enjoyment out of it as it went along.
Me too.
The animal elements where how the animals were being treated made me enjoy it less. At the beginning, I was like, oh, these crazy people and whatever. And then as they kind of show the way that these crazy people treat the animals, it was much harder to enjoy it at that point. But at the beginning, I was like, holy hell, this is just glorious. And don't get me wrong, it's a very entertaining show. And it's nice to know that those animals are not in that situation currently. But some of them are, and I think, if anything, it brought a lot of awareness to people realizing how dire those situations are.
Yeah, when I finished watching it, it was just a very odd feeling when it was all done. Because it starts off so like, these are wacky characters. By the end, you're just like, oh, there's no protagonist in this entire thing. No one's likable. It's bizarre.
Yeah. I pretty much...
What have you been listening to? Any music? Any bands?
Oh, yeah. I constantly am listening to music. I actually do sing, so I was doing that before. So I listened to a lot of your guys' stuff, and then Juliet. And I, go back and listen to, some Linkin Park and stuff.
Cool.
Kind of, all over the place. I always say, somebody, anybody could pick up my phone and go through my Spotify and find something to listen to, because I have, everything.
Okay.
I wrote a comment once for the Father's Day thing. It was mine about how my dad kind of bred my love of rock and roll music and stuff like that. Yeah. So I mean, I listened to a lot of Pink Floyd too, and Black Sabbath and all that.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Definitely some Queen. I literally had a whole day the other day where I just was dancing around my room acting like Freddie Mercury.
That does it every day.
It's true. Yeah.
It's the way to live.
Pat has a whole 20-minute montage every morning of him dancing around to Freddie Mercury.
Why do you think he has that mustache?
Fantastic.
It starts with the bicycle song.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how I get my... And then...
and that's why Pat grew his mustache out. So he could ride his bicycle.
And then you sing the Flash song when you go to the bathroom, right?
At least I'm doing my Joe Flanders impression and flashing my neighbor through the window.
Yeah, I talked about that, Amber, before you came on. I inadvertently flashed my neighbors today. Didn't realize the window was open. He was not amused, and it's going to be weird when we go back into the real world and make eye contact.
I just got a text from Ben from Ask Alexandria making fun of my facial hair, or rather telling me that my facial hair and his are very similar. So I don't know how to work it. That's the way it goes. I'm not trying to name drop. I'm only saying that my friend is making fun of me because prior to being on, we were talking about my stupid facial hair, and here we are.
It's usually a love thing. I mean, my friends all make fun of each other all the time too. So
yeah, that's all right.
That to me is like a term of endearment.
Look at that stupid. Look at it. There it is. Well, Amber, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Is there anything you'd like to share with us, and then also give us all your socials so other viewers and listeners can give you a follow?
Well, yeah, that's there was one thing I wanted to mention too, because there was the girl like 2 weeks ago on that had the Black Veil Brides tattoo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have. I am not disrobing. I want to. I want to preface. I actually have.
Thank you for letting us know.
Hard to see.
Through the show.
I actually have the lyric from When They Call My Name. I have It's a Violent World, but today I'm still alive with a semicolon on it.
That's so awesome.
I've mentioned in the comments too, like your music through whether it's solo or Black Veil Brides and Juliet with Automatic Love Letter and her solo stuff. It's really helped me through a lot of like I suffer with severe depression, and I actually ended up like getting myself into a situation where I had an eating disorder. Because as long as I can remember, I've always been bullied because I've never been small. So that kind of led into that. And I kind of went into that whole thing without anybody knowing. So I kind of literally had to pull myself out of that. And like a lot of people still don't know that I ever went through that.
Wow.
But I do.
Sharing that with us. That's very brave of you to say that on the show today.
You're welcome. I've come to like a lot more on the internet too, because I see more people there that have been through what I'm through.
Sure.
I've been through. So I try to help people in that instance. Like I've become more open about it because I know a lot of people struggle with it, and I want to help if I can at all.
That's so great. Really.
So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I actually my for socials, I actually do have fan pages for you and Juliet.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, before we get to the socials, I want to say thanks again for sharing that. That's one of the first tattoos I've seen of that song. It's one of my favorite songs that we've ever done. It's one of my favorite, like, of all the songs, there's certain things where you write lyrics and you start to feel a certain connection to them. And that song is so personal to me and about my relationship with Juliet and how I've struggled with my anxiety and stuff my whole life and how important that is to have. So I'm so happy to see that song has helped you, and thanks for getting that tattoo, and thank you for sharing all that about yourself. It's really very brave.
You're welcome. That's why I wanted it right here, because it's really close, so I can always like look down and think about it. And I have this weird habit now that when I'm listening to the song, when you sing that lyric, I just oddly rub my tattoo. I thought I'd share that too. But like it does. It means a lot to me, so I'm very happy to have that on me. And,
well, I'm very happy that the song connected with you in that way. So, all right. So now let's find out where can people find you?
Okay, so my personal Instagram would be Amber R. Jewers. That's JEWERS.
Okay.
I then subsequently run. I've got a cameo from you and Juliet, like separately and together with it. Ann Liette's Daydream. That's me.
Okay. Yeah. Great. I've seen that page before.
Yeah, Juliet kind of notices me a lot, even though I feel like I bugged the shit out of her in her messages. But I
apologize if I'm not around as much. I log into posts and then I log back out. So
no. Yeah, so then I have that one, and then I have one that's just like predominantly for you, which is Beer Sack Videos, which you guys have oddly like not by name but mentioned on the show before. I wrote in a comment because, like, I knew it was mine. I think it was when you were talking to Joe about, like, vanity searching, and he said he saw something tagged on Instagram from, like, the Andy show, and it was your guys' laugh, because I feel like you guys, like, Joe and your dad all kind of have, like, a similar laugh, and it was from when he was on. So it was that one. And then I have one for just Juliet that is Sims by Era, where I kind of go through, like, different themes of just kind of her doing her thing.
Wow. So cool. But Amber, thank you so much. It's so nice to meet you and find out all this stuff. It's really, really kind of you to spend that much time supporting us and making sure that people are aware of what we're working on. And I can't thank you enough for that. And thanks for coming on the show today.
I'm really happy to always support you guys. Like I said, I've been a fan of you since 2008, Juliet since like 2012-ish, I think.
Yeah.
So
you've been a fan of Pat since 2002, right?
You put in the time.
I have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I figured. Yeah, you've been a fan of Pat since
2002.
Yeah.
I actually, you should see some of my earlier stuff from like '94.
See, no, that's 2 years before I was born, so that's the stuff I really got to go look for.
Yeah, Pat really peaked in '94.
Yeah, we all know that you have the Joe Pesci fan site, the Stuck in the Mud. Pat's Stuck in the
Mud. One last question, Amber. We were talking about Pop-Tarts earlier, so if you could only have one type of Pop-Tart, what would it be?
Oh, by the way, Pop-Tarts. You know, we all gave our favorite flavor. So what's your favorite flavor?
S'mores Pop-Tarts are my favorite.
Wow. S'mores, all right.
Those are good, though.
Thank you. That was the correct answer.
It's very outdoorsy choice.
Yeah, you put it on a fire. I wouldn't say do that right now, though. Too dangerous inside.
Yeah.
No. Well, you kind of stick it in the toaster. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
That's true. It's a tiny firebox. All right. Well, thank you so much, Amber. We'll talk to you later.
Bye. Okay, bye, guys.
Bye,
Have a
Amber.
great day.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye.
This is us walking to the car after we've already said bye.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, this reminds me of the episode where you guys had that conversation about like premature goodbyes.
Well, here we are. We're living it in real time. All right, Amber.
Bye.
Well, thank you very much to Amber for coming on. That's it for today's show. We hope that you enjoyed it. Please let us know anything else you'd like to see. I think pretty soon we're going to start having some different guests on, people in bands. So let us know if there's anybody you'd like to see on the show and any bands that you'd like. And we're going to do the best we can with the Digital Justice. I think next week we're going to switch to a different provider, service provider. We're going to try Zoom out, so that might be better.
Yes.
We've been using Google Hangouts here on the Digital Justice. But next week we'll try something else. So that's it for this week. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.